In today's video, I'm going to show you how to train an employee to do maybe not everything, but give you a start of the things you have to do in order to teach someone a new skill or a new behavior. And employee training is such a powerful thing if it can absolutely save you a lot of money. It can help you with compliance. It keeps your company safe and it keeps delivering the product or services that you are promising to your clients and customers. And, is employee training important? Well, yeah, I think so. Absolutely. This tends to be, and when things get economically bad, one of the first things that get cut is the training department. And it always baffles me. But yeah, training absolutely is important. And you can see I'm much of an advocate of like, you have to help trainers get the skills they need in order to be effective trainers. And this picture is me doing that in what is a train the trainer class. So I've trained lots of trainers on how to do this, and I'm going to train you how to do this too. And if you're new to Lunch Bites and Leadership Insights, my mission with this is to give you answers to common employee, business, operational issues that come up in 15 minutes or less. So you can get great information that you need that's actionable on by you, and you can get on your way to creating business success. And if you need my help, I'm always here. So I'm going to show you how to train someone to do anything. When you're defining what you are training people to do, you want to begin with the end in mind. And I usually use this in classes to demonstrate like something that seems so benign and so easy is actually difficult to teach someone how to do. I also want you to think like as adults, we have learned everything that we do. We've learned from the time we popped out of the womb, we have learned behaviors, how to operate through life. Nobody knows anything intuitively. You have to learn how to drive. You have to learn how to read. You have to learn how to write. And it goes the same for employment skills as well, even though some way we just kind of skip over that part. So begin with the end in mind. And I have found if it's possible, it's best to have a visual representation of what your expectation is. So I'm going to walk you through how it works to teach someone how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And you think everybody knows how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. That is not true. We all have learned how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich over time. We might have watched someone else older than us making it. If you come from a different culture that doesn't eat peanut butter, like I'm married to someone from Europe and he never ate a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So you have to drop your assumptions that people know how to do what you're asking them to do. And even if they do know how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, our objective at the end of this is that they make the exact peanut butter and jelly sandwich that you're seeing on the screen. So that's where you start with a beginning with the end in mind, and you start with an objective. So at the end of this training, you will be able to replicate this peanut butter sandwich. So hopefully I've given my participants, my employees, a very clear idea. At the end of this time, this is what I expect you to do. So the next part of training is after I have set my objective, given the participant employee a clear idea of what I expect the end result to be, I need to make sure they have the materials they need to be successful. Because without the materials, it doesn't matter how good the explanation is, they still can't do it. So this part is also overlooked many times as well, is that in order to set somebody up for success, you need to be sure that you're providing everything that they need to be successful. So in this case, with our sandwich making, we want to first, peanut butter. It's in the title. But this is where it starts getting, you make assumptions that people know how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. But keep in mind, we're trying to make the same peanut butter jelly sandwich that is in the picture. So we have decisions to make. Are we using creamy or crunchy? Of course, there's all kinds of peanut butter now. So you would need to be very specific what type of peanut butter you're expecting. Jelly, does the flavor matter? And then in the last slide, I didn't even mention the word jelly anymore on the slide itself. I just kept saying a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I have a friend who calls them a PBJ. He did it in junior high, and I still remember it. Um, but if I want the same peanut butter and jelly sandwich, I need to provide the same jelly, the same flavor. Grape is always the number one in America. Bread, again, I'm trying to replicate the same result. So I want to have the same bread available to the person. And now I want to be sure they have the tools. So in this case, it's a knife. I want them to have a knife. Do I need them to have a sharp knife? Do I need to have them a regular knife, like a butter knife? Do they need gloves? I was a VP of training at a restaurant group, and I bet sure they had gloves on for safety reasons for themselves, but also, foodborne illness, all that kind of gross stuff that we deal with in restaurant world and hospitality. And I need to make sure that they have a workspace so they have the room to make this sandwich to my desired results. Now, are you surprised? Are you surprised I went into so many details? And I'm sure I could actually add more details onto this. Um, and this is where it starts getting into your particular workforce. I've had people ask me, well, do you need to tell them to open the jar? Well, if that is not a baseline skill of people that is in your employee population, then yeah, you do need to say you need to open the jar. So this is where it gets to knowing your employees as well as what's absurd, kind of what's too many steps, and what is the basic steps that most people will be able to reasonably make to be successful at the task or behavior you're asking them to do. So we've got the objective, we've given them the tools. Now we start with the process. This can be mind numbing, and it's something I love to do is write processes and procedures. So standard operating procedures are SOPs. So I started writing down what they need to do to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So you can see my steps here. Gather your materials, ensure your workspace is clean. Now, I never mentioned that before, but you can bet if I'm asking, people to make 100 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and we're going to replicate that and sell these sandwiches to the public, I want to be sure that they're safe. So that's an important step. Put on their gloves. Make sure that those gloves are clean and their hands are clean. And then now we actually start getting to the point of putting the peanut butter on this bread. So use a knife to spread peanut butter on one side, on one slice of the bread, and then repeat on the second slice of the bread. Wipe the knife to clean the blade. And then I didn't write the rest of it because you can get quite detailed about it. After you wipe the knife, clean the blade, you're going to repeat the process, but this time with the jelly. And at the end of it, you're going to put the slices together and make your completed sandwich. So I've told them the tools they need, and now I started writing the process that they need, but that's still not enough. Now, when you write a great process, that it should be almost enough that they can be successful at the task or the behavior that you're asking them to do. But if you really want to ensure success, and this is absolutely where training is critical, you need to do one more thing. And that is the purpose of training, is that you give them a safe space to demonstrate what you're looking for and time to practice. And in that practice, repetitive practice is best. And you can give them coaching, or the trainers give them coaching of what they can keep doing to refine it so they keep getting faster. And sometimes, depending on how complicated the process is, it could take a long time for people to learn it. And that's why when I think there's a disconnect that I put them in training for an hour, why aren't they coming out perfect? Is because most things we're asking employees to do just take longer to learn. You have to break down things that are already in your head to put in the new processes or the new knowledge in place. And that's why it's so important to create those training environments where people feel like they can mess up so they can be successful when it's important. And I can even see from my instructional designer head that's going on all the time is that my demonstration video was not the process that I wrote. Now, so you can see when the demonstration video ends, it's not going to be the same peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And that's pretty common how that things happen. So me as a business leader, I need to decide how important is that? Is it important that every peanut butter and jelly sandwich is the same, or is it okay with variation? And then you have to go back and clean up your processes likewise. Because you can see when I wrote it, I didn't mention anything about a spoon, but in the demonstration video I found they used a spoon. So that's how all of this stuff works together is you have to dissect the process, know begin with the end in mind. What do you want them to do? What do you want this to look like? Gather the materials, make sure they have the tools to be successful. And that can be even systems. It's not necessarily hard tools like a knife and a spoon, but it could be, do you have the right HRIS processes? Do you have the right technical processes? Do you have the right telephones to support what you're trying to do? Give a demonstration, model what you're looking for, and give them time to practice. Keep coaching, kind of go in a circle there. And then when you're all done, they're good to go. And it's great to have some kind of quality check on the end where you feel comfortable they know what to do. So thanks for joining me again. If you have any questions, I'm Stacy Aller-Canapa. I love doing training. I love helping businesses grow better through the training function because it is critical and it's an easy way to do your I find every class I do, the employees love it. They still need training, even though if we may think it's unnecessary, it's always a good idea to do some kind of refresher. So I'm here to help. Enjoy the rest of your lunch, and I wish you lots of success. Bye.